Hi, this is Jasmine Sokko. Check out my interview on CreativeDisc.com, the #1 music website in Indonesia.
So, hello, Jasmine.
Hi.
Hi. So, tell me your activity during this pandemic time.
I have actually been working on a lot of new songs, and it's been a very exciting time. I have never had the chance to actually sit down in one place and just focus on a series of songs. So I'm very excited to put out the next few songs as well.
Oh, so maybe do you have any new hobbies? Have any new hobbies? Maybe listening new music, or maybe finishing a lot of books in this pandemic time.
Yes, I picked up like one thing that I've always wanted to, which is to try to make my own clothes. And it turned out quite terrible at the moment, but
Everybody
but
has a good first try, right?
yeah, but I'm so glad like I tried and I realized how difficult it is. And now I have so much more respect for all the fashion stylists and and it also gave me a good perspective into making music better. And I'm just gonna work on it more again and I'll update you.
Okay, so let's talk about your new single called Medusa. Is it's really different from your go easy electro tunes to more edgier electro sound. Tell me more about it.
So Medusa is the new song that opens up a new chapter to this whole EP that I'm working on right now. It's a lot darker. It has this like techno-ish vibe underneath, and it's also dancey but very empowering. And this is something that I wanted to put out because I wanted to move away from the sounds that I used to do. Because as an artist, I always feel like one has to undergo change and evolve. And for this whole Medusa phase, I took a lot of inspirations from snakes because they shed their skin and then they they become a like brand new snake every time like they walk off from their past. So Medusa is that kind of renewal song for me.
Maybe maybe what kind of snakes that you like the most?
Wow.
Is there any?
Wow. My snakes dictionary is not like great enough, but I love Nagini from Harry Potter, like Voldemort's pet. I'm sure it's not a breed, it's just the name of the snake, but there you go. One specific snake.
So, Jasmine, you are team up with Jenny Andrews in this song. Tell me your first meeting with her.
The first meeting with her was to do like a vocal producing for a song, and I was so amazed because she's such a warm, bubbly person, and I've never done a vocal recording like online, and it's so empowering when it's a woman. And that itself, because I've been in this industry for like 5 to 6 years, and it's the first time that I chance upon like a female producer who's like so that's so inspiring to me. And I just really enjoyed the entire process. Very creative, and this whole long distance thing didn't stop this amazing work to from happening.
So, you are working full online with Zoom meeting when making this song over and over again. Is it kind of awkward for you? How does it feel?
I actually am starting to get used to it. The time zone is kind of difficult. It's really
Yes.
difficult, to be honest. Like sometimes I have to wake up so early and sometimes it's so late. But but sometimes when I'm in the process of like working on something amazing, I just tell myself, you know what, this is really worth it.
Yes, because you're in Singapore right now, isn't it?
Yes, I am.
Yes, working with a US country and another Europe country is very time consuming, right? Because of time
It's
zones.
12 hours.
Yes. So I think Medusa, it's like a bold statement from you.
Yeah, it is. This one's about independence and standing on your own 2 feet and realizing that you have all the strength from within and just trusting and believing in yourself.
So deep. So you said that you're now entering a new phase of your music career. what kind of a new phase your music career could be?
I'm entering this phase where I'm listening more to myself. Back then, when I was making music, I would always see it as, I'm creating a product like an
Mm,
iPhone. Like I
mm,
want the song to be accessible so people can listen to it, they can digest, they can connect with it.
mm.
But in the midst of doing so, I think I stopped listening to what I really want. And I just want to, make a song that takes into consideration of what I really love, and at the same time like try to make it accessible to. So Medusa, it's like more about finding and learning more about myself and putting it out there. So the approach is a lot different from the past songs that I used to do.
Is it kind of tricky one to balance it, balance it with you say that you want to accessible, but you want to free to make something by yourself? Is it kind of tricky?
Yes, I think it is a, I wouldn't say a problem. It is something that I always have to keep finding the balance in, because it changes all the time. Because as I evolve as a person, I think my audiences also evolve and their tastes change. And it's very uncomfortable, but at the same time, I feel like it's necessary to always step up of your own like comfort zone and try something new. Because then like you will learn like what belongs to you and what doesn't. So that whole process is fulfilling.
So, what album that you like the most?
One, only one?
Yes, if you can pick one, what it is?
Wow. Okay. Um, at this very moment,
Yes.
it's Lord's Pure Heroine,
Ooh.
like her very first album.
Lord, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Ah, yes, me like it too. Like, wow. We share the same taste, perhaps.
Great taste, yo.
So, what do you think pop music nowadays, on your opinion?
I think pop music is ever changing. The moment like you decide to like confine it, you just cannot like get the true essence of it. Because the hit song today will not be the hit song tomorrow. There's always something new, something unexpected, and I think that's the fun part about pop music. Like you have to keep experimenting, you have to keep trying, but at the same time, you resonate. Your songs have to resonate like with a mass of people, and that itself is like a very exciting feel to be in.
So, I think pop music is right now is getting edgier, and with your new work, Medusa is one of the edgy pop song that I ever heard. Maybe you
Thank
haven't.
you.
Thank you so much. Maybe you have any opinion or any backstory that you want to make an edgier pop sound?
Ooh, I actually started this song from a very conceptual beginning.
Mm,
So I read up about Medusa's story and how she's not the villain that we all think she is,
mm,
that she was a pure and beautiful girl, but she got punished for being like abused by the god of sea. And so she was very misunderstood. So my approach to writing Medusa came from a story that I learned, and I don't know, like it just flows so naturally and it felt like a very different process. And I love that it sounds so dark compared to like the past songs I used to do. Like I didn't
yes.
know I had that color in me to do that, you know?
Maybe in Medusa you want to there's a yin in there's a yin in yang, and there's black and white in everyone, right? Isn't it?
I love that. I love what you said.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So speaking about, let's talk about Southeast Asian culture and music, right? Because we are both same in Southeast Asian region, and you already have a breakout artist in Southeast Asian. Congratulations for that. So did the culture in your hometown affect your musical influence, especially in Singapore?
Yes, definitely. Um, I actually took a lot of inspiration from what's around me. And if anything, I feel like even though Singapore is a small country, there's such a huge diversity of like cultures and food, and being able to like understand like other cultures through having friends in those cultures, and at the same time also like dabble into my own roots. I'm Chinese, so I learned to like appreciate my own culture and see how I can blend that into my songs. Like all these things kind of give me a lot more context to play around with. And that's especially, I think the one time that I'm really proud of like reflecting it was in my Tired music video. There were like different cultures. There were this beginning scene. There was a Malay friend, and then there was an Indian friend, and then we were having this conversation, and that was that wouldn't have happened otherwise if I weren't from Southeast Asia.
Maybe in your childhood, you haven't any Singapore album, or maybe like a Melayu album that you like the most, maybe, or maybe Cantopop album.
What was it? I grew up. It's so strange. Like the first time I think of this, I can only think of Britney Spears. I think I got her CD at home. I found it at home. My parents got it at home. Um, what else? Like I do know a couple of like Chinese songs, like Chinese ballads. I think that's about it. Like I grew up at a time when internet was blowing up.
Ah, yeah, yes, yes,
So
yes,
I
yes.
was buying songs on like Yahoo.com, and that was like, I mean, I feel like kids today, like they wouldn't know what does that mean anymore. you know
So, in your opinion, what kind of identity or things that Southeast Asian region must bring in order to break international market like you?
I feel like embracing your own culture is one very important thing, and and because that's what makes us like unique and gives us an identity. And sometimes about like mixing it into like pop music, I think that's a very exciting thing to do.
So kind
Yeah.
of a mix and match, right?
Yeah, and I also find like the music video can be more interesting, like culturally.
Ah,
Sometimes like I I look through like music videos from other region, and then I'm like, wow, I didn't know this was. It's so cool that artists weave it into their own culture, into their music video, and like I'm learning a new culture through their music, and that's so interesting.
yes, wow. So, Jasmine, mention 5 things we didn't know about you.
I love rawon. I
Me
love
too.
rawon.
Wow.
That's true. It's the same thing, but it's like one of my favorite food growing up because I have relatives in Indonesia. So
Oh.
like my grandma used to cook it. Okay, so that's one thing.
Which place in Indonesia?
Surabaya.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And like I don't know, like the rawon I tasted in Indonesia just doesn't taste the same here in Singapore. So
Yes, it's better because Surabayan taste, right?
yeah. So that's one. Um I read a lot.
Oh,
I read a lot. That's the second one. What else? I like taking long walks.
oh,
Oh, I don't drink
oh, wow.
Cafe. Oh my god. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. The last one?
I'm a hardcore tea drinker. To make it up, I like no caffeine. Like
You're
yeah.
such a tea lover, right? So, my last question. What's next for Jasmine Sokko?
I'm working on a bunch of new songs right after Medusa, and they're gonna sound dark as well. I feel like Medusa is such a big hint to all the songs that I'm gonna drop next, but that's something that I'm looking forward to for the rest of this year. So keep a lookout for that.